Coming up this week, find out what happens when celebrities are paid huge sums of money to pretend to like games as we finish the fight and the beer at the Halo 3 launch. And witness Team Eurogamer's night of glory at the Games Media Awards. But first, buckle up as Bizarre Creations takes us for one final hot lap around Project Gotham. What's the toughest gig in games development right now? How about being the team tasked with driving forward the Project Gotham racing series, now Bizarre Creations has parked up in Activision's garage? The Liverpool studio's Microsoft exclusive swan song, Project Gotham 4, is the culmination of 7 years of obsessive engine tuning across 3 platforms. And with a 9 out of 10 already in the bag, the boys can now hand over the keys with deserved pride. Just before the shock Activision deal was announced, the EGTV cameras were invited up to Bizarre's studio to peer under the bonnet of Gotham 4 as it prepared to roll out into stores. And it just wouldn't have been right to send anyone else along other than our resident armchair racing hero, Tom Bramwell.
Hi there, Eurogamer TV. We're here in sunny Liverpool, home of, well, named after the best football team in the world, to see Bizarre Creations and of course Project Gotham Racing 4. As Johnny continues his rehabilitation from having his back reinstalled, we'll be heading inside the studio and having a look at a final build of the game, talking to the developers and, you know, playing it, which is pretty much what we have to do. So, come on in.
Bizarre's pedigree as a developer is proudly on display inside, where winning awards has become something of a habit, the big show-offs. And with Gotham dominating the current agenda, it's easy to forget there are other strings to the studio's gaming bow.
Through here, we have the club, which we're not here to see, but we'll be back soon to have a look how they're getting on. Looking good.
We all know the basic Gotham formula: fast cars, photorealistic environments, and, of course, kudos. But we also now know what's been missing all along.
For Gotham 4, we really felt that we needed to add something that we hadn't done before. At the time, people were starting to talk about doing bikes in games, and we thought, you know, maybe we can take this on and do this better than anybody else has done it before.
And just where did the flash of inspiration for this missing piece of the Gotham jigsaw come from? Probably not where you were thinking.
The inspiration, you might like to know, was Grand Theft Auto. When we played Grand Theft Auto, you know, the bikes in that were just fantastic. That's the only bike game that we played that everybody in the office was like, that's brilliant. So, you know, while we didn't want to steal anything from them, we really wanted to take their fun style of gameplay and apply it to what we do.
Designing the bikes is, as you might imagine, much the same as knocking up the traditional four-wheelers. Models are constructed from reference material and the design details can be added on via drag and drop. It might look straightforward, but each bike takes 6 weeks from scratch to build. But the biggest challenge for the team was how to introduce bikes without buggering up the balance and ensuring it all still feels like a Gotham game.
With the bikes, you can be pulling a wheelie while you're overtaking someone. Not only that, you can be pulling the wheelie, earning kudos for that, and then press the stunt button and then, you know, jump onto the back seat and ride down the road doing that, earning you more kudos. So we really had to balance the kudos system differently for cars and bikes. You know, we had to make sure that a lap in a bike would yield as much kudos as a lap in the car, even though they were doing radically different things.
As for the cars, well, if it ain't broke, why on earth would you fix it?
So with Gotham 4, we haven't moved away too far from Gotham 3, Gotham 2 and even Gotham 1. We found that we've had a good mix of arcade and simulation, whereas the cars do feel like real cars and they do perform as real cars. But at the same time, it's not a full simulation. That is frustrating to play and takes a long time. We really want all players to jump in the car and feel like they're a great driver straight away, and they can do tricks in the car and get a real hang for them, and just sort of grab them and really drive them fast.
Okay, so now all we need are some sexier locations to race in. Returning favourites include London and Nürburgring. But if you're craving the shock of the new, Gotham 4 comes complete with fresh high-def vistas to explore. The Chinese territory of Macau is one. The team compiled over 24,000 photographs of the area to ensure absolute authenticity. Macau drifts between sardine tin city street and tourist-tempting mountain paths.
It's the most densely populated 5 square miles in the world. It's a tiny place. I mean, if you think Hong Kong is small, Macau is, it's probably about the same size as Liverpool city centre.
But thankfully that's all it's got in common. Anyway, it's a stupid amount of work for something you'll be dimly aware of as you screech around at 170 miles per hour. But that's Gotham for you. Cutting corners is reserved for the racing. This obsessive attention to detail also extends to the sound programming. One of the other big new ideas in Gotham 4 is weather. But if you thought that was just a visual challenge, think again.
Obviously one of the key features this time is weather, and we needed to match that with sound. So it's not just the sound of the rain, it's the sound of the tyres, which is the big one, how they interact with the different surfaces, how are we going to give the user the feedback they need to drive the car in all conditions. A lot of it is designed to give the player the feedback they need to improve their playing of the game. So hopefully it'll make somebody a better player if they do actually concentrate on what they're listening to.
The soundtrack is the usual eccentric mix of predictable dance and indie numbers and more soothing and left field tracks. And thanks to Moneybags Microsoft, they were able to shove enough gold bars under the noses of weathered dance veterans The Prodigy to get an exclusive theme just for the game. Throw in a complete overhaul of an already groundbreaking online service in the shape of PGR On Demand, and you're looking at the definitive Gotham experience. It's Bizarre's racing vision for the first time without compromise.
Like in PGR 1, it was really a graphical showcase for the Xbox. PGR 2 was showcasing Xbox Live, and PGR 3 again was to really showcase how powerful the 360 was compared to previous hardware. So it meant this time round that we could really focus on the game, and it really meant we had more of a decision to make about what the game should be about.
The same applies to the weather. It might be slinging it down out here or a pea super over there, but the forecast is for clear gaming skies.
But it's really important to stress that the weather is not sort of hardcore simmy weather where it becomes extremely difficult to drive and race. When you come to a wet or a stormy location in PGR, it's not harder to drive, it's just more drifto, so you'll earn more kudos points going round. Granted, there'll be puddles in the road that you have to avoid, but it's not going to become a frustrating and difficult experience.
Big words, Wilson, so put your money where your mouth is. Motorbikes or cars?
Ooh, Christ. Oh, that's hard. I'll get killed either way. I really like the bikes. I'm going to go with the bikes. Maybe that's just because it's just a new thing for me, but out of everything in PGR 4, I'm really proud of the bikes. Very pleased with them.
So that's it. Bizarre has taken us for a spin around Gotham for the final time. Our only disappointment is that this isn't a Friday, so we're missing out on their infamous cake day.
It's just every Friday we sort of down tools for a bit. We go into the kitchen and we just eat a load of cakes and just stuff our faces. It's nothing more than that, really. It's summertime, it's ice lollies. In the winter, it's cakes. I think it's really important that people just do take a little bit of time out, because everyone is so passionate here that sometimes you can get really involved in your own little thing. And by having these sort of things, like we have company days out, we even go on holiday together where that's sad.
Well, we've seen some pretty exciting game launches over the past 12 months on Eurogamer TV. Remember World of Warcraft Burning Crusade? How could you forget? And the Nintendo Wii? Microsoft tonight, though, is promising some proper A-list for what they've promised is going to be the biggest gaming launch in history, where tonight they literally roll out the red carpet for the launch of Halo 3. The games industry has a massive inferiority complex when it comes to Hollywood. Understand this to understand why Microsoft pulled out all the stops to ensure Halo 3 was not just the biggest game release of the year, but the biggest entertainment launch in history. Who cares if a $60 game making more money on day one than a $10 movie is essentially meaningless? It's all about waving a big fat Space Marine Willy in the face of Spider-Man 3, the previous box office record holder. In the build-up, Microsoft played an absolute blinder, and the world's press were falling over themselves to heap hype on the Chief. Even the usually granny-scaring Daily Mail got in on the act. And it obviously helped just a little bit that the game had rather impressed the critics. So much better than that 8 out of 10 nonsense on Xbox One, right? Microsoft wanted the event in London's Leicester Square, regular host of major film premieres, but that plan was scuppered, replaced by the IMAX. The giant ad was impressive, but the glamorous red carpet entrance was a bit like being stuck in an underground car park. And it rained. Still, celebrities, eh? Woo! Of those who actually turned up and anybody recognised, some spray-tan Big Brother half-wit posed for snaps, then buggered off inside to no one's excitement. US movie star Christian Slater, however, did raise a cheer, and he was happy to chat to the public. Then, the big pre-announced star of the night arrived, US music big shot Pharrell Williams. He's a massive Halo fan, Microsoft told us.
It's fun. I played the game when I was in Vegas for the MTV Music Awards, and I have to admit I got hooked. I haven't played since then because, you know, I have a tall order and work.
Pharrell, what's your gamer tag?
After a lengthy wait in the foyer, it was into the giant IMAX theatre for the main event. As well as us freeloading scumbags, the theatre was filled with plenty of real gamers. Token game-loving TV personality Ian Lee was once again wheeled out to host the proceedings. And fair play, he actually did a great job of holding everything together while taking the piss out of everyone in his line of sight.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about! Halo 3!
After some mood-setting trailers, a couple of Bungie guys popped up to demo the game in supermassive pixelo-vision. Things livened up when a competition winner was called on stage to compete via Xbox Live with a string of celebs across Europe, with Big Pharrell representing for the UK. The technical hitches came right on cue. The voice chat went mental, and nobody seemed to have a clue what was going on. With the game finally underway, Williams threw a strop and refused to play because his Y-axis was inverted. Ah, diddums.
Can we change Mr. Williams' configuration, please?
Once corrected, the audience got to see exactly how much of a massive Halo fan Pharrell was. Frankly, it wasn't even clear whether he'd even held a joypad before. After Williams limped in second to last, the shocking truth was revealed.
Is your first time playing? Yeah. Okay.
He'd never played it before. Seriously, who booked this idiot? Having behaved like a sulky teenager all night, Williams finally skulked off, presumably laughing all the way to the bank with Microsoft's money. Thankfully, with the celebrity nonsense out of the way, some genuine excitement as the audience was split into red and blue, and teams were picked to deathmatch for free copies of the game. But there was still more confusion as first one player's joypad batteries went flat, and And then it turned out that the teams were playing as the wrong colours in-game. Brilliant. In the end, Ian Lee shamed Microsoft into giving everyone a free copy. But Spartan helmets off to Microsoft, who happily obliged. Hurrah!
You want it? Yeah! You can have it. Everyone!
The celebs, of course, were long gone by this point, and good riddance, frankly. With no posturing idiots for the industry to try and impress, we could get back to what mattered. Gamers getting their hands on the Chief.
So you're getting a copy of the game tonight, everyone's walking away, everyone free. What is it about Halo that you like?
It's the fact you can play with your mates. There's a lot of good first-person shooters out there, but I really like to be able to play with my mates and kick my mates' arse and chat trash to my mates, and I think it's a really good game.
Are you a big fan of Halo then in general?
Yeah, I played the first two, and it's one of the main reasons I got an Xbox. But
what is it about Halo compared to any other shooters?
I don't know, I think it's mainly the online play. And just...
Sorry, I'm completely ruining your game here, actually. Which one of you guys is the best at Halo?
Me, obviously. No, me. It's got to be me.
It's me. One of you's lying. Which one is it?
Him, obviously. We've not actually played a game with each other yet, but...
Yeah, we're trying to arrange...
What are your gamer tags? We can check up on this online.
Mine's kind of got deleted, but it was only Smoke Zero.
Why has yours been deleted? Did you do something naughty?
Really crap at it. He said he was so bad at the game, he wasn't allowed to play it anymore.
But while there was plenty of sweet Xbox loving in the air, as you might imagine, a certain other console was somewhat less popular.
What do you think about PlayStation 3?
It's a bit bad, to be honest. I mean, it's a great machine, but until they start bringing out good games, it's a big waste of money.
Not PlayStation 3?
No, definitely not. Terrible. There's no games for it. There's no games. There's nothing out yet. It's not worth game.
Not PlayStation 3?
No, it's horrible, man.
What's wrong with it?
It looks like George Foreman Grill.
For the Bungie boys, it was time to relax after a job well done.
It's obviously very nice to see good reviews coming in, but we try to put that out of our minds as much as possible and make a game that we think people are going to like, and Halo 3 is definitely that game.
I mean, we're all pretty much serious gamers, and we just want to make a game that's like fun for us. So generally, if it's fun for us, then the fans out there are going to enjoy it.
Back outside, the red carpet was still in place, but with the paparazzi off hoping to snap Pete Doherty swallowing needles, the delighted recipients of the free copies of Halo 3 hogged the spotlight, scurrying away for a long, sweaty night of passion with the Chief.
Guys, you've just been captured on camera picking up your free copies of Halo 3. How are you feeling? Are you excited? I don't think you can talk through that fucking beard. Get a shave, mate.
Okay, so that was the Halo launch, and now I'm joined by Eurogamer's very own Richard and Judy of gaming, Matt Martin and Ellie Gibson, to discuss the aftermath of Halo. Frankly, I'm kind of over the game now. I've got the lovely Virtual Boy that Christian very kindly brought me back from the Tokyo Game Show, so I'm really occupied by that. But what I want to talk about is how the whole event went down. We were there. Do you think it kind of had the impact Microsoft wanted?
I think it had a good impact on the day for a couple of days. I think the mainstream press that covered it last week will have forgotten all about it right now. You know, it's gone.
Their aim of that event was to get Halo into the mainstream media, then you know that's definitely what they did, because it is quite a traditional gamer's game. It is quite a a relatively kind of hardcore game compared to something like Wii Sports, which is always in the media. So I think if that was their objective, they did achieve it.
Okay, well the mainstream media are over it, but you lot presumably are all at home playing it right now. We of course gave it 10 out of 10, Eurogamer's highest reviewing accolade, but not everybody's quite so enamoured with the game.
Halo 3 is not the game that I thought it was going to be. Obviously it's been rated 10 out of 10 in Eurogamer, but I'm sat here wondering why. I've played the first few levels and I'm totally bored by it. I was just really surprised at how staid and boring it was for the first couple of levels. It kind of picked up after that, but after every main chapter I was just basically turning it off because I just couldn't be bothered. I had no real sort of drive or incentive to play the next section, and so every night I've been kind of coming back and kind of forcing myself to get back into it. I think if I'd have reviewed it, I'd have probably given an 8 to the single player. I don't know about multiplayer yet, but yeah, Halo 3 is not doing it for me.
You know, this is the sort of thing comments threads were invented for.
with it.
Now, before we leave you, as you may have read, Team Eurogamer did pretty well at the inaugural Games Media Awards, held earlier this month in a Soho strip club. We just wanted you to share in our success. After all, if it wasn't for you lot spending all your time fighting about Halo in our forums, we'd be nothing.
Let's give the award for the game's website reviews and features.
Eurogamer picked up the gongs in the specialist online category for best news and best reviews. And Eurogamer's indefatigable deputy editor, the Tominator, claimed best writer. Heck, I even won something for talking rubbish on the radio once a month. Great face for radio, as they say. Take it away, boys.
I had no idea you were going to be foolish enough to let us do speeches, so I didn't prepare one. But thank you to the people I work with. They're all far more talented than I am anyway. And also all the other people who I don't work with who are less talented. Because I'm just without them. Thank you very much!
We won 2 awards. We won the news and the reviews category, which, you know, we feel we're thoroughly deserved. We've been working our fucking asses off for I've been working for 5 years in Eurogamer now. Tom's been working for nearly 8 years now. We've carved a niche for ourselves. We were honest, we're open, you know, sometimes we're wrong about stuff, we admit it. But, you know, most of the time, all we try and do is write very honest opinions about what games are about.
2 lovely pieces of perspex. Which I love.
They look great behind another piece of perspex.
Yeah, exactly. My favourite plastic.
Or maybe glass cabinet if you can afford that.
That's quite enough of that. Cheerio.
Eurogamer TV.
Oh right, cool. It's on Sky. Oh.
No.
No.
It's on the internet. Is that on Sky?
Gamer TV on like Bravo, but I never
Gamer TV.
Yeah, have you heard of that? It's like,
yeah. Do you like Gamer TV?
Well.
Sorry, James. Let's move on. Come on.